Um, Last night I had a kind of realization, um, just about timing in general. Um, my my experience with timing doesn't feel like it's been a very unique one. But I don't know, the reality of it just hit me kind of last night, and it's so weird. Um, it's the same thing over and over again, right? I want something to happen a very specific way, right? And that I build that moment in my head I build that moment in my head before it happens, right? And I play it in my head over and over again. And so, when the day comes and the thing I'm super excited to do, to happen, it doesn't happen the way I shaped it in my head, right? And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, no shit, that's not how it works, right? But for me, and maybe there's people out there too, but for me, that's very defeating, I guess you can say. I don't know if that's the right word to use there. Um, but for some reason, just it defeats me, right? And the only reason I'm saying this is honestly because there was something I wanted to happen a few months ago, right? And I wanted it to happen for a while now, right? Um, so I went about it, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. A part of me knew that it wasn't going to exactly, so it was more of like, and it was more of like you know what, I got it done, right? Fuck it. But for some reason, that very thing, um, I don't know. I thought it wouldn't bug me, but it's bugging me, you know? And again, not because it didn't happen, right? It didn't happen because, it wasn't meant to happen I wanted to, the way I wanted it. Because even looking back, it could have been 10 times better. But I think that's the problem. I don't know how to not build something up in my head. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I hesitate on doing a lot, because when something doesn't go the way I imagine it going, it's extremely defeating for me. And I realize that that's not okay, you know? And I know that I don't have the control over everything that happens. I know that. But a part of me still thinks that everything that happens is going to go somehow in my favor. And I don't know how to not think like that. You know? I know that's selfish. I know that's wrong. It feels wrong, you know? But yeah, it just feels wrong. And I think last night that kind of hit me. And it's very hard for me to live in the moment, to stay in the moment. As much as I think I try to practice to do it, I just can't. You know what I mean? It doesn't come easy for me, is what I'm trying to say. But on the bright side, last night I also remembered something that happened. So I want to say maybe in 2022, what did I do? I was essentially putting together a scene for this TV show I wanted to work on, where I'm working on, I should say. I put together a scene for a kind of like a mock previs trailer for it. Whatever. The scene included a friend of mine, and the other friend was going to record. So, I planned it out, location wise, everything, and then the day it was supposed to originally happen, something had happened. I don't remember if it rained or something came up on my friend's end that he had to handle. You know what I mean? I forgot exactly why it didn't happen, but point is, it didn't. And my friend my friend FaceTimed me, and during the FaceTime, he was telling me that he couldn't make it. And of course, this isn't, I wasn't mad at him or the thing he had to do. You know what I mean? I was just more upset that, again, I built this. I was so ready. I was so ready to go. I was so excited, and it didn't happen. Right? So, I was upset, and he saw it on my face. And so after the FaceTime, he had texted me, essentially saying like, trying to sum it up here, essentially saying stuff like, oh my God, I don't remember the text exactly, but essentially reassuring me that it's all right. You know what I mean? It doesn't, just because it doesn't happen today doesn't mean it's going to happen at all. And, it wasn't meant to be, right? He used something like that. So I think 2 weeks later, we went out, we shot, we filmed it, and it came out dope as fuck. And I look back at that moment, whenever I feel like this, I look back at that moment, and I just I try my best to remind myself that as much as I want something to happen, maybe not everything I want is good for me, or maybe, which feels a little worse, or maybe I'm not ready to have the things I want. Maybe I don't deserve the things I want, not yet. So only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah.